Welcome back for the long-awaited album review. We haven't done one of these since it's been a while. Then we have Carlos here. Carlos is here for our Whole Lot of Red episode. I think is one of our highest streamed all-time episodes.
It's
The
been a
most.
year. I'm back, better than ever.
It's
It's
been
been way
almost
too
exactly
long.
a year.
Yeah, literally.
But we got two albums that came out a couple weeks ago. Dawn FM The Weekend and Gunna's DS Forever. It's the last of his DS trilogy, right?
Yes.
Trilogy. It's 4, but still. Yes.
Yes. I agree.
Then we bring the wide array of opinions. We got Evan here to complain as he listens to anything other than his rock and metal.
Thanks.
But we'll take it off. Well, you guys want to open it up on The Weekend?
Sure.
Sure.
So let's take it away. So both these albums were rolled out with, they pretty much had no rollout, no real advertising. They weren't long-awaited projects. They kind of just like, here you go. And The Weekend was outsold by Gunna by about 2,000 copies.
Yeah.
Which
Supposedly.
was really surprising because The Weeknd is like the biggest artist on the face of the earth, not named Drake. I think it was decent. Some of it sounded a little generic. First listen, I honestly really didn't like it. I thought his last 80s theme project was a lot better. But specifically, I was a huge fan of How Do I Make You Love Me? That one's been ringing in my head over and over. Been listening to that one on repeat. Gasoline's a pretty good track, but the Tyler the Creator was a phenomenal feature. But just some of it sounded a little generic and like forgettable to me, especially when I look at old Weekend projects.
Mm. Yeah, he's kind of transitioned to this it's like 80s pop kind of vibe.
Mhm.
And it's good music, but I honestly prefer the old Weekend sound better. Which I have seen a lot of people saying that they're kind of trashing this album. They don't like it.
What do you think, Emma? What's your first take on this?
I thought it was pretty good. I like the whole 80s pop new wave thing. I thought it was pretty good.
Mhm.
I think, obviously he had a few like interlude tracks, but I guess when you have these projects that are 50 minutes long, you kind of feel its runtime a little bit. But there's some good tracks. But I'm not sure how you feel about this part, but I thought the Lil Wayne track was absolutely awful, in my opinion.
Lil Wayne's on this album.
Yeah, he's a feature.
Yeah, his
crazy.
feature was not that good. It was Tyler the Creator and Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Tyler Creator had by far the best feature, obviously, and he was probably part of the best song. One of the best songs.
He's been really killing it as like the last year. He's always been prominent, but like his sound as of late and him on multiple projects has been phenomenal. And his project was arguably album of the year like 2 years in a row.
Since like Flower Boy, it's like
he's been really killing it. He's been like extremely influential in general in the industry. You have a lot of people starting to sound like Tyler, to be honest. Now with The Weekend too, that 80s sound has been really blown up. I feel like Tory Lanez did his project that was something prom. What was it called?
Alone at Prom.
Alone at Prom. I thought this was definitely better Alone at Prom. A lot of people might disagree with that, but The Weeknd's voice suits this sound a lot better than Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez sounds almost like overcorrected with his voice. It was decent. This was definitely better, but you can really see. I think The Weeknd got the ball rolling with Blinding Lights and those projects. My bad, that songs.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I think I do like Tory Lane's project better. I don't know. The Weeknd, it's like he makes great music, but it's just for some reason it just doesn't really resonate with me. I don't know, something about his voice, or maybe just kind of like the vibes are like more. I feel like melancholy sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I
Like
could see
more
this
down.
being like a good album on like a road trip. It's kind of just playing the background. It's got that radio station interludes at the endings. I could see like driving to go down the shore or something, and it's just kind of like floating in the background.
This is
Mm.
perfect H&M music.
I was just about to say that. In the mall, it's perfect music.
But this is you're never grabbing the aux and playing Dawn FM.
Yeah.
Someone gets in the car and starts playing Dawn FM, you're gonna have to take the aux.
Yeah, no. Not right. That's not P.
That's but it's definitely not one of the worst projects. It's definitely not my favorite. It might be one of my least favorite weekend projects. I feel like he's been tailing off. And then for some reason, why does he have the worst cover art? Why did it, like the last two tapes have been like just weird? What this old man ass cover is. They could have done something cool with some radio FM style cover art, and they just like do you know the reason why they did this?
I think he said that this album is supposed to be like when you're in purgatory. So like you're like waiting to go like to the light, and that's why Jim Carrey's like narrating it the whole time, like he's taking you towards the light. So I think this is like supposed to be like when you're dying. I have no idea. But you're not rocking with the old man look? I kind of rock with the old man look.
I like the other look more with the face bandages.
Oh, with the swollen nose, that look was way worse.
But like he always has some deeper meaning. Like I always have to look up what the Weeknd is talking about, especially the Super Bowl performance. We talked about that one time. His last album, pretty much everything he drops and talks about always has like some hidden meaning. Like the Weeknd really thinks he's like the main character and he's got to make this crazy background story to everything he does. I was like,
okay.
Is on a little better.
Do we have a rating? Do we have an opinion?
I will give this 6 weekends out of 10.
6 weekends out of 10, not P out of 10.
It's barely P.
Evan, what do you got for me?
I'm giving it 7 out of 10 weekends.
What is that, a different measurement unit that I'm gonna have to adjust to here? Is that just a standard weekend out of 10?
Yeah, there's a curve. Just rate it, Jesus, man.
When you rate an album, what do you rate it off of? Do you rate it off their past works or in general?
So I'm gonna go off of what I always like to do if I'm looking at the numbers is a 5 is like okay, middle of the road, because people always like to make it almost like a 7 is okay and anything under is awful. But I like to go with the 5 standard, middle of the road. That is a decent project. That is okay. I can enjoy it, whatever. And then a 10 is like there's not a single miss, not a single skip. I can listen to this album top to bottom all the time. And 1 to 0 is unlistenable. Don't even play a single track.
So I'm gonna stick with my 6.
I
usually rate it off of their past work, and I feel like this is definitely like maybe this is not his best album, maybe not even top 3.
So I was gonna say, so if you want to do, I'll give you both numbers. I was gonna say like a 5.5 on my standard scale. Like just like what puts it above like a decent album is a couple of tracks that I will definitely, I think, How Do I Make You Love Me? A couple of the other ones make it above okay, but that's just right out. But for the Weeknd in general, if I'm putting his best project at a 10, which I'm not even trying to debate right now, this is like a 4.
Understandable. You're a tough grader.
Evan,
He loves his music.
does anyone make any adjustments based on that scale, or we're just rocking with what we got?
I'm dropping down to a 6.5. Just dropping it half.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but this,
since he's dropping it half, I'm dropping it half too. I'm giving it a 5.5 now.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, me and Carlos agree on the 5.5. Evan with a whole point higher. Honestly, I was surprised about, because I don't see this being your type of guy.
I was
the 80s pop.
Honestly, you don't understand what other crap I listen to.
That is.